Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar on improving your marketing and saving money with statements. Before we get going, I just want to go over a few ground rules for those that have not been on an LKCS webinar before. Number one, your lines are muted, so I cannot hear you. If you have a question, feel free to type it into the question panel on the GoToWebinar sidebar there. I will review those questions and get answers throughout the presentation or definitely at the end. Also, we are recording the webinar. The recording will be placed on the LKCS YouTube channel later this afternoon or first thing tomorrow morning, depending on how quickly we can get it all processed. So if you wanted to share with anybody on your team, that link will be sent out in an email, or you can just head straight to our YouTube channel and check it out there. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Tim Turzin. I'm the Vice President of Sales here at LKCS. And again, we're going to talk about improving your marketing and saving money on statements. So first, for those that don't know a lot about LKCS, LKCS is a full-service marketing company. We've been in business since 1961, and we've dealt with financial institutions the entire time. We were founded on core values of providing, the best service, high quality, fast turnaround, and fair pricing. And we continue to stand behind those values today as we evolve all of our marketing, digital, print, mail, and statement services to fit the needs of our customers. So how does LKCS help, on the statement side, and what can you do, even if you aren't using LKCS? So, with us specifically, we have over 60 years of statement processing experience, and we understand that making you look good, is why you choose, to work with us. The biggest thing I can say is we are not a one-size-fits-all solution. That is not how we work, and we see a lot of the competition working that way. They like to put you in buckets, and they might have 3 or 4 templates. They're going to slap your logo on it and call it a day. You don't want to box yourself in like that. You want to be able to do what you want to do. So we want to look at completely customized statement layouts, customizing those marketing opportunities and allowing them to go all the way down to the member level, right? Talking about e-statements, the e-statements need to be as good and better than your print solution, right? So we need to make sure that when we're looking at the electronic side, we're not missing anything. It can do everything we can do, on the print side and more. Big things with LKCS is we give you access to key personnel and management at all times, both during and after implementation. And we find this huge. A lot of our competitors have went to ticketing systems and things of that nature. We do not do that. We're never going to do that. We allow you to basically contact us when you need us and not have to wait 2-3 days to talk to somebody. We want to basically, be there for you when you need us. And then we have multiple verification processes from the moment we receive a file until the statements leave our facility, which is important as well. And we'll get into all of this. So why LKCS, or why do we feel we can talk on these items, is we have over 225 statement clients right now, and more importantly, I always say that I have over 225 statement references. All of our clients who use us to process statements, I'm happy to give out as references. They can talk to you. We'll let you know what they're doing. Kind of stand behind us a little bit. One thing I always like to point out is our Net Promoter Score, or NPS, is 91 plus, and it has been that way for the past several years. We've never dipped below that mark. So our customer service is top notch in all regards, and our NPS survey and score shows that. So when we talk about, your statement platform, you need to be able to look at and think that you can prepare your statements in any layout imaginable, all right? How we handle things when we begin programming, we're going to ask you specifically what formatting options, styles, or elements that you want to incorporate into your statements. Again, we're not going to put you in that box and show you 2 or 3 templates and tell you to pick one. It can be fully customizable. Before I get too far into the statement reformatting and how we utilize marketing, I like to show this example here. These 2 statements are identical, right? So the statement on the left is what you would typically see from your core system. The statement on the right is what LKCS is doing to that statement on the left. So we are taking the data that your core provides, and we are turning it into that statement on the right. All the same data, but I think everybody can agree the statement on the right is much easier to read. It's laid out a little bit better, and we can see there is marketing added to it. All right, and again, we'll get into all the different marketing options a little bit later. But we are flexible. We will design that statement any way you want. I have several examples here. I'm going to flip through the next few slides, but just going to show different layouts, different ways we can add marketing, headings, summary boxes, etc. All right, so everything's going to look a little different, and that's fine. We can make it look any way you want, all the way up to full color printing. So, in the past, full color was really expensive to do on the print side. Those costs have come down. Obviously, it's still more expensive than your traditional black only printing, but that full color option for print is more and more common, and it's more cost effective than it used to be. So if you haven't looked into the cost of color lately, I suggest you do. As you can see, these statements definitely have a different pop to them, and things stand out a whole lot more with those little bits of color added. And another color statement option, and again, the one page on the left here is showing multiple marketing options. Only these two summary boxes are the only statement related data. Everything else is marketing related. So again, we're going to get into all that. But you can take these formatting designs in marketing and put them across all documents, not just your statements. So think about your daily notices, credit cards, separate mortgage statements, anything like that. All of those things can also be reformatted, add marketing value to kind of get that extra touch and not, again, cost you additional dollars on the marketing side. So how do we do this? We talk about trans-promo statement marketing, okay? And we're going to basically print ads or onserts directly onto those statements for pennies a piece, right? So these ads or onserts can be sent to all of your account holders, or we can target specific groups of accounts to receive one or more of those messages. We do not limit you to short text-only messages. We're going to be able to include graphics, logos, fonts, photos, and even personalize the ads if needed. All right. So the technology that enables us to do all of those things also allows us to do loan payment coupons, rate grids, regulatory notices, and more, all directly on the statements themselves, rather than having to do an entire separate mailing or email or whatever the case may be. We do allow you to design the ads yourself. We can custom design them for you. Either way, it's going to work. All right. So a few options of what those statement onserts or statement ads can look like. The three on the left are really, really basic. The top one is that loan payment coupon that I talked about. That is pretty popular. We can put a coupon on those statements every month as they go out, or do 3 coupons on the quarterly statement for the next quarter. Depends how you kind of handle that or want to handle that. But the one on the right, you'll see it's much larger. That's going to take up about 3/4 of a page, and it is personalized. I've kind of grayed out the data there, but this is a skip a payment offer, goes out right on the statement. All the information is there down to the loan we're allowing that person to skip. All they have to do is sign it, send it back, or bring it in. Okay, so different ways to handle those ads, and we'll again get into it here. So statement letters are also very popular. When we talk about statement letters, we're talking about the first page of the statement becoming a full direct marketing offer. It does not have to have statement data on it. We're just going to include it with the statements, right? So again, image on the right is showing a full page skip a pay ad. And that's just going to, again, be that first page of the statement. Statement data would just fall behind starting on page 2. We are not needing to send an extra mailing out, send an extra email, whatever the case is. It's going to go right out with everything else we're already doing. We're already paying the postage and the processing to do all of that once. We don't need to pay it a second time. Okay. We like to use these full page ads for pre-approval type campaigns, referral campaigns, skip a pay, as you can see, investment relationships, welcoming new account holders to the institution, etc. A couple examples of those pre-screen loan campaigns are shown here. So LKCS does work with all 3 credit bureaus, so we can pre-screen your account holder data, and then tie that right into the statements that we already send, or get that ready to send with the statements for those pre-approval offers for anything that you might need there. Why are we doing all of this marketing? So this is where we're going to really start kind of diving in. It comes down to cross-selling, ways to touch those account holders to hopefully have them, take action on something. So how are we going to do this? We are going to target people that receive these onserts or ads based on specific criteria. And it can be a whole bunch of things. So we can target account relationships, right? What products do they have or don't they have? All right, so if I want to target somebody for, let's just say, an auto loan, and they don't have an auto loan, it's a pretty good person to target. Most people have an auto loan. If they don't have one with us, they probably have it somewhere, so we can easily target those people. All right, account balances. All right, so what type of balances are they carrying in certain accounts, and does that trigger something? Hey, are they carrying a balance of over, let's just say, $10,000 in their saving? Maybe we want to have them roll that over to a certificate of deposit or something of that nature. Account activity. How often are they using these accounts? Are they sitting dormant? Are they using them more often? All of that stuff can come into play. Geography. So what state are they in? What zip code are they in? Right? What town or city? Are they close to a branch? Are they far away from a branch? That's going to differ how we target them. If we know they're close to one of our branches, we're going to target them a different way than if they live in a different state. Okay, so we want to look at that geography as well. Or we can use any other condition that's identifiable within the statement data provided by your core. All right, so their core systems have a ton of data. That statement data that comes from the core has a ton of data. So all of those things can be used to target those account holders on how we want to cross-sell them for different products and services. If it's not in the statement data, that's okay. We can actually use separate control files that have additional data, as long as they're going to tie back to something like their account number or member number or what have you. Okay, so we have all kinds of data sets we can use to start effectively cross-selling our products and services. Here's a few ideas, and I'll talk about these in a little bit of detail. It's got to get your head wrapped around things you can do on statements. All right, so first one there on the left, new account holders. If this is the first time we're sending this account holder a statement, they're new to us, let's welcome them to the institution, thank them for their business, let them know what else we might have that they could be interested in to try to get that conversation started. All right. Second one, loan payoff thank you letters. We know when our account holders are paying off their loans with us. Let's take that opportunity to thank them for their business. Thank them for doing business. Let them know maybe what current rates are for another type of loan or a new loan with us to kind of keep that ball rolling. Don't let a good opportunity pass. A simple thank you goes a long way. Next one, auto loan recapture. We can look at people with auto loans and how long they've had that auto loan with us. Data on the auto industry states roughly 36 months, most people are in the market to upgrade that vehicle. So if they've had that loan with us and it's been 30 months, 32 months, 33 months, we know they're probably getting pretty close to getting back out in the market to find a new vehicle. Let's get in front of them early, let them know how we can help them. If they're looking to trade in their vehicle, what our current rates are, whatever the case is, and how we can help. Birthday messages, another simple one, but highly effective. In the month that their birthday is in and we're sending that statement, let's include a message. Wish them a happy birthday. It doesn't have to sell a product or service, but just letting them know that, hey, we're acknowledging who you are. We know your birthday. We're going to say happy birthday. Loan payment coupons, which I showed you previously. It's a good one. Everybody knows exactly where their coupon is going to be every month or every quarter. They can easily look at it, print it out, use it as needed. What's great about the statements, if it's a variable rate type loan, or they put a chunk of money on something and it changed the payment, these things are getting, done on the fly every single month or every single quarter. So they're always going to be updated. We're not wasting time, printing those that have to be redone later or at a later date. If you have an insurance, mortgage, or investment division, so those other, type products or services that you can sell, this is a great way to introduce them to your account holders. So, maybe it'd be a series of ads or full page letters that would go with the statements to let them know about other options that they have with you. Business accounts, we can treat them completely different than your normal, consumer accounts, right? Business accounts might want to look at things differently. They might need different products or services. So let's talk about them. Let's market to them in a completely different way. For the credit unions, if you have any mergers or branch acquisitions on the horizon, we can look at those and target those people specifically in certain ways. Okay, so we know that they're coming in from that merger or from this different branch that we just acquired. Let's go ahead and target them again, welcome them to our institution, let them know how we can help. So these are all ways to take advantage of cross-sell opportunities, and I'll tell you they're all very, very effective, but you need to start doing it. It doesn't take a lot of work to get these kind of rolling, and then they can kind of get set and forget about it for a little bit. Additional statement marketing options, envelope back printing. It's a simple one. Not a lot of people think about it. So what I always say is next time you grab an envelope and go to open it, look at what side of that envelope you're looking at. It is not the front of the envelope. Every single person grabs the envelope, they flip it over to the back side to look at that envelope flap to open the envelope. A standard number 10 envelope is a little over 9 inches by 4 inches. It is a big area, right? So what we always, talk about is printing on the back of that envelope because we know they're going to see it. They're going to flip that envelope over to open it. And if we're printing there, they're going to see that ad or that information. It is very inexpensive to print that message. It literally costs pennies to do it, or just over a penny per envelope. Again, we do stock designs every quarter. You can custom design, we can custom design for you. So all options that you can have. Again, here's just a few. We have an online catalog that you're more than happy to look at any time, but we come up with several every quarter. E-statements. So as I mentioned earlier, everything that you do on the print side needs to be just as good or better on the electronic side. All right. E-statements are the future for the majority of account statements. So we know that, you know that. We need to be able to include all of this marketing on the electronic side just the same. Everything I just talked about can also be incorporated into our e-statement solution right now. There's no extra needs or pieces that you need to come with it. It just happens. All right. Inserts, so things that you would normally stuff in with the statement, we deliver as banner ads on the electronic side. Those banner ads, as you can see from the graphic below, are just little images that gives them a teaser about whatever it may be. When you click on that, it would link out to a web page, to a PDF, straight to a loan application, whatever the case is. These can appear for everybody, or they can be selective for just certain, account holders that it matters to. And then those banners can be flagged with that little new insignia, so they know it's changing month to month or what they've clicked on or hasn't clicked on. Email notifications. This is becoming more and more popular. We've always done it, but we can customize that email notification that goes out every single month, letting that account holder know their e-statement is ready. It doesn't have to be just that boring, your statement's ready, click here. It can be turned into a full e-newsletter or, marketing, hub, I guess, with information, new specials, what's going on, you in the community, whatever it may be. You can do a lot more than just saying your statement's ready. Okay, that can be done every month. In our case, we would update it for you. Pretty simple. Big big benefit with e-statements is color does not cost more. So as I talked earlier about, the price of printing in color has come down, and I suggest looking into it. On the electronic side, color does not cost any more on a computer screen. So if your e-statements aren't already in color, they should be. Definitely gives them an extra pop. Advantages of our e-statements and things I believe you should be looking for in a system. Number one, you need to be able to deliver any type of document electronically. All right, so not just the statements, but I want to do tax forms, notices. If I'm doing a separate credit card or mortgage statement, all of that stuff should be able to be shown electronically. The e-statements need to be mobile friendly. More and more people are using, their phones or a tablet to check these things on a day-to-day basis. They need to be able to see them on their mobile devices easily. I talked about the email notifications being customizable and also trackable. Who's opening them, who's clicking on what in those ads, and what are they doing? Text message notifications. It's getting more and more popular, but adding the ability for your account holders to, have them texted when a notice or a statement is available rather than just an email. The banner ads, linking to those other opportunities, right? We don't want to lose those marketing, so the system has to be able to get to those other marketing opportunities that we've talked about. Online retention, it needs to be as long as you need it for, okay? We have a lot of clients, that are doing 36 months, 60 months. We have a few that are even past the 60-month mark. But 12 months really isn't cutting it anymore. Our standard now has come out to 18 months. So we're going to retain at least 18 months. We can definitely go longer, but 18 months should be your bare minimum. Being able to view e-statements for joint accounts from a single login. All right, so in my case, I have my account. I have accounts with my wife that I'm a joint on. I don't want to have to log into 2 different accounts to see the information. So being able to combine that, knowing that I'm a joint owner on these accounts, I'm a primary on these, right when I log in from my username and showing me all of the relevant documents and information I need is a must. Nobody's going to want to remember 2, 3, 4, 5 different usernames and passwords for one system. It needs to be able to combine together so they can see everything from a single login. Being able to review for the financial side, from your side, review all statements, documents, forms, etc. online before they're sent out. So being able to have, an online approval system to look at things, make sure everything's correct before it's processed and sent. Having a way for your employees to access all documents online, and not just the people signed up for e-statements, but everybody. Right? I should be able to get on to the admin side of things, pull up any statement, whether that was a print statement or electronic statement, to help that person if they were to call in and ask a question. Having a user management system so you can control enrollment, permissions, who has access to what, who can see what, etc. E-statement reporting. I want to know how many users I have, who's logging in, when are they logging in, how many times are they logging in and clicking on certain things, what emails are bouncing, all of those things. We need to know that reporting and have quick and easy access to it. Enrollment with instant access to historical documents. So this is a big one and we feel is really important. This is why LKCS creates an e-statement for every single statement at all times, regardless if they have e-statements or not. It's there. That way, when that print statement, user signs up for e-statements, all of their history is already there. We don't have to, wait to build up that history. And then obviously single sign-on integrations with multiple online banking or, now mobile banking vendors. So we want to make sure that those SSO pieces work just as well from your app or your mobile banking side as it does on your online banking side. Privacy and security, very, very important. It is critical in all aspects of our operations. We go through our annual SOC 2 audit. We already went through it this year. We're waiting on the newest paperwork to come out, but we're very proud of that. But that doesn't make us different than a lot of vendors. because everybody should be getting that certification done yearly to handle your statements. What makes us different? It's our quality control, our people. I'll go into a few things, but what we say is all statement vendors are going to monitor quality at some level. I always say that it seems like our competitors rely solely on automated controls, and we believe that computers cannot catch everything, right? So we have our employees trained to verify quality at every stage of the operation. They are constantly checking the files, reviewing, looking at samples, etc., all through the line. So, it doesn't pass through departments without at least two people looking at any one file or any one stage of the process. So we kind of go above and beyond there. So a few of our quality control checks, we correct or look for the correct statement period sent every month. You wouldn't believe how often we see files sent to us for the wrong month or the wrong dates, maybe a quarter time they only sent us 2 of the 3 months, or what the case may be. So we're constantly looking at the dates, making sure it's actually correct for the statement that should be going out. We look at file settings to make sure that they're all the same as last time. Do we have the same settings turned on that we always do? We verify record counts, and we look at it on a scale of 10%, higher or lower. So if we see a file, we're comparing it to the last several files that we've got, and is this count 10% higher or lower than those? If it is, we reach out and let you know about it. We're looking at any messages you may already have from the core. We're looking for spelling and grammar, make sure those things are accurate, make sure it's not an old one from a date in the past. And then we also have an optional mail tracking system that you can actually use to verify delivery or any bottlenecks from the USPS. All right. All of these checks and manual procedures, this is why the competition doesn't do it, because they feel it slows us down. That's why they're kind of afraid or don't do those things, but we feel they're wrong, right? Those manual procedures make us better and not slower. I can tell you we catch a few dozen errors probably every single month from our clients. I've never once seen a client get mad at us for checking their file and stopping their statements from being sent out wrong, giving them the opportunity to send a new file in. But I have heard horror stories of them saying, yeah, I sent a file, it wasn't complete. The processor just sent it all, and now we have to pay for that, plus, the reprint. Okay. So again, those manual procedures are making us better, not slower. All right. And then again, I talked about our mail tracker. So we can immediately answer the question of, where's our statement or where's my statement? Hey, did this get delivered? This person saying they didn't get it. We can actually get into the USPS data, pull information, all the tracking details of that specific mail piece, and let you know exactly where it is, when it was scanned, when it was delivered, all of that good stuff. So we store that data. We know where it's at. I can gain that visibility into the delivery timing of your statements. Right? And then we can obviously share proof of delivery and those things with you, as needed. All right. That is all I have for today. My information is up on the screen. Feel free to reach out to me directly by email or by phone. I will hang out on the line here, answer any questions that may come in. But otherwise, I would like to thank everyone for their time, and everybody definitely have a great day.